This is Murphy Entertainment Studio, and we have a special guest with us today. His name is Jerry Simpson. Jerry, thank you so much for being with us.
Well, thank you for inviting me. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. So tell us a little bit about yourself. What do you do for a living?
I service computers, hardware and software both, for a variety of companies, from government agencies to individuals in their home.
Oh, wow, that sounds interesting. How long have you been doing that for?
Since the early 70s.
Oh, wow, that's longer than I've been alive.
Yeah, almost as long as dirt.
So tell me some things about the job that you remember over the years that really stand out.
Well, it's interesting. It's fulfilling. It's really, to me, I've never had a job. It's like having a hobby that I got paid for, because I've always enjoyed electronics and computers and working around them. And being that you go to different locations instead of being at one central place, you see all types of computers and problems. You meet different people, you build up a good rapport with them. Your customers end up becoming a lot of times good friends and almost like family to each one. And you see a variety of issues and problems, so you learn a lot too. There's not a time that goes by that you don't learn something. If you get to where you think you can fix it all, there's a computer that's going to show you different. It's just the way it is. It's not monotonous. It's something different every day.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I imagine it would be really rewarding to do that.
It is. It's so neat to come and find something not working, and when you leave, you know it's working again, and they can start doing. And it can be something as simple as somebody's home computer they just used to. It's very important to them. They're on there playing games or doing their, word processing or sending pictures to their loved ones somewhere, or taking pictures, or to a business who that's their livelihood. To make payroll, to sell their goods, or some government agency that's being used to protect security, or to do law enforcement or something. So it doesn't matter who it's for, it's all important to that particular person that their computer's up and running. And so you're the person they don't want to see coming, because that means their machine's down, but they're so happy when you leave if it's up and running. And as an engineer, you're also happy because then you made their day a lot better, and so it's rewarding.
Oh, wow, that sounds really interesting work. That would be something that would be, really fun to get into, I think, for somebody that loves computers.
It is. It's I did with a lot of neighbor kids or family members. They're children growing up, and they're wanting to get into computers, and so I help them and work with them and show them how a lot of that stuff works, and a lot of them will get into it because they want to get into the repairing hobby, or to the software, or writing games, developing games. I mean, a computer now is a robot, can be anything now. I mean, it's all computerized. Everything, your appliances in your home are becoming computerized. So the day of not having a computer close by is gone.
Oh yeah, technology's amazing, isn't it?
It is.
It really is. I mean, it's come a long way since.
Yes, it has. Long ways from the old pencil and paper and sending a mail and somebody get it in a week or two. Now you can send it in seconds electronically.
Oh yeah, everything's with cell phones now.
Yeah, it is. Everybody has a camera basically, because every cell phone is a camera.
What's some things of the job that kind of are the negative aspects, would you say?
The weather, getting to places, but the negatives, I guess, is when you run into doing repairs and the part that you've ordered in and it's bad because some reason doing shipment it got damaged, or doing manufacturing the part it's never been placed in a computer, or wherever parts you're replacing has been used before. So you can have manufacturing defects. So you go and you're bringing the hopes up that these people's system is going to be running. You want it to fix it, and the part you put in is doing the same thing, or it's doing something different. So now you've got to reorder another part and come back another day. So it becomes frustrating not only for the customer, for you, because that's more time they can't use it. Another day you've got to come out to that person's house or business and get them up and running. So it's frustrating.
Yeah, very time consuming, I would imagine.
Time consuming, expensive, because that costs then more for both. Because they may have stuff they need to get done, so it's affecting them as much as you. And They just, it just happens though, but not too often, thank goodness. Technology is where most of the time you get good parts in, but once occasionally it happens. And a lot of times you get to a site and what you was told was wrong with it is not actually accurate because, they are the user of the computer, not the repairman, so they're going by what they see. And a lot of times you may have to come back another day or another time period to fix more because when you get into it, you find out there's other things broken besides what they thought.
Oh yeah, there's always something more in there.
It is, and but now more and more that's getting condensed where it's become modular, where it's less chances of that happening because everything's on one board or 2-3 boards. So usually you have those with you, and so it's not too bad. But it can still happen if it gets lightning or power damage or something like that happens. You get where people spill liquids into their computers, and that causes problems. Of course, atmosphere, environment. So it gets frustrating, and so when you get into that, but it's once you get it up and running, then everybody's happy. Then it becomes okay, another good day.
Oh yeah, that sounds good. Let me ask you, where do you see technology going in the future as far as like computers and all that? Where do you see technology going?
It's no telling. It's something somebody said years ago is if we can think it, it can be made and be done. It's just we need to come up with how the resources to make it happen. And I mean, now if you told people just 30 years ago, 40, 50 years ago, what we can do with computers and technology and what you would have in your hand that you carry in your pocket that can take pictures and do video conference to anybody in the world, they would tell you you're crazy, And when back years ago, we as kids would see people talking to themselves because maybe they had a mental issue of some sort. Now you see people talking to themselves, but actually they've got some item stuck in their ear talking on their cell phone that's in their pocket. So they're not really crazy. They're
Bluetooth,
they're Bluetooth. So I mean, if you think about it, if you come back from the future, from the past, if you could through time travel, then it could be scary because you would think, what has happened? The whole world's becoming insane. Everybody's talking to themselves.
Yeah.
And of course now people are walking down the street not paying attention and driving because they're using the technology. So it has its bad and its good.
Yeah.
We become careless with a lot of our technology and we use it in places that shouldn't be used because it's convenient, but actually it causes problems. So,
oh yeah,
I mean, it's coming a long ways, and where I see it going, it's who say time travel is not going to be possible maybe one day or something. I mean,
hey, you never know.
Our appliances talk to us now, right? And they talk to each other. Washer and the dryer can talk to each other through a network and say, hey, my clothes are completely washed. They've got a computerized laundry unit now you can get for your home that actually, once it gets through, it folds your clothes for you. So I mean, it's going to the Mars soon, so anything's possible.
Oh yeah, there's been a lot of advancements in robotics and medicine and computers and...
It has. I mean, you have surgeons who are in another country operating on somebody in another country using robotics and technology through video cameras. So they're sitting in Germany, let's say, operating on somebody here in the States, and they're remotely controlling the hands and the arms through robotics. My children, they're in their 30s, and the oldest one, who's 36 now, I was building robotics before he was born, and my daughter, who's 32, I actually have a photo of her when she was a baby being given the bottle by one of my robots. And so, I mean, that's 30-some years ago, robotics in the homes, which hardly was even heard of. But now, they have robots that you can buy for your home commercially now. So you don't have to worry about building one up. And so, the modern home of having a robot to bring you your drinks or food or turn things on and off is here now. And it's no longer the future, it's present. So who's to say, what we will see. I mean, the driverless cars are coming. They're already here. So,
yeah, 40 years down the road, who knows what we'll see, right?
I mean, if you look at how fast things are developing every year, it's no longer waiting 10 years. It's happening next month, whatever you buy today have already become obsoleted. And that's about the way it is. You go to the store, get a new computer, and you say, oh, let's get a second one while we're in line. This is such a good deal. You go back to the shelf to go get a second one they had on the shelf. and it's not there anymore, and you say, hey, didn't you have 2 of these? Oh, well, that's become obsolete. But you told me this is brand new, you just got them in last week. Well, it was last week, but now this week they're old. And that's almost where we're at.
Oh yeah, TVs, washer and dryer, about everything is outdated within a year or two.
And it's becoming the same with my field. I mean, when I was growing up, you had TV repair stores and radio repair stores that repaired radios and TVs. They come out to your home or you took them to get repaired. And as I got into out of school, where I got a job repairing computers, you went to people's homes, went to people's businesses, which we still do, but not as often. A lot of that stuff now is being thrown away and just replaced because it's cheaper. So I'm almost becoming like the TV repairman, becoming something that's going to be of the past, of having somebody come in to repair computers. That'll just be a swap out.
Oh wow, that's a very interesting story. Jerry, do you have anything else you'd like to add on computers today?
Not really. That's good. I appreciate the interview, and it's a changing technology, and it's a good field to get into if anybody's interested.
Well, thank you so much for coming down, and we really appreciate your time, sir.
And thank you for inviting me.